Hi, I'm Landon Cole, a junior at Franklin College, and I'm here today with Kiara McGuire to discuss the upcoming solar eclipse. On April 8th, 2024, a total solar eclipse will cross North America, passing over Mexico, the US, and Canada. The 115-mile wide path of totality will cross 3 states in Mexico, 15 US states, and 4 states in southeast Canada. The sky will darken as if it were dawn or dusk. Now, let's get into what a total solar eclipse is. A total solar eclipse happens when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, completely blocking the face of the sun. While the sun is about 400 times larger in diameter than the moon is also about 400 times closer than the sun. Therefore, the sun and the moon appear to be about the same size in our sky. During the total eclipse, the moon blocks the entire disk for a few minutes. The stunning result is known as totality, whereby observers can see the outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere, the corona, with their naked eye.
Here in Indiana, the partial eclipse begins at 1:50 p.m. The maximum eclipse will occur at 3:06 p.m., and the partial eclipse will end at 4:23 p.m. The totality phase will last in Indianapolis for 3 minutes and 49 seconds. This will mark the first time in 819 years that a total solar eclipse has been visible from Indianapolis. Truly a once-in-a-lifetime event, since the next total solar eclipse visible from Indianapolis will not happen for another 129 years, occurring in the year 2153. This is an amazing experience, but safety should always be the number one priority when viewing a total solar eclipse. It's not safe to look directly at the sun without specialized eye protection for solar viewing, except during the brief total phase when the moon completely blocks the sun's face. Viewing any part of the bright sun through a camera lens, binoculars, or a telescope without a special purpose solar filter secured over the front of the optics will instantly cause severe eye injury. This means when you're watching the partial phases of the solar eclipse, which happens before and after totality, you must look through safe solar viewing glasses or a safe handheld solar viewer at all times. You can also use an indirect viewing method, such as a pinhole projector.
Allow me to clear up a little bit of confusion. The eclipse that we have coming up in 2024 is going to be a very different eclipse than what we saw in 2017. This is because the corona of the sun that we see is going to have a much more structured circle because the sun is expected to reach the solar maximum activity in mid to late 2024. Scientists expect that the corona will appear larger and have more outflows and spike-like structures than in an eclipse during quieter solar conditions. When the sun is active, it releases strong solar flares and coronal mass ejections, or large clouds of ionized gas called plasma and magnetic fields that erupt from the sun's outer atmosphere. The solar storms generated by the sun can affect electrical power grids, GPS, aviation, and satellites in low Earth orbit. These events also cause radio blackouts and even pose risk for crewed space stations. Now, I know some of you are probably concerned about your pets. Some pets might become confused or restless during a solar eclipse due to the sudden darkness in the middle of the day. This abrupt change in light might cause animals to exhibit behaviors similar to dusk or nighttime activities. Some animals might seek shelter as if preparing for nighttime. This might involve pets trying to find a safe and familiar place to rest.
Lastly, let's debunk a myth about the solar eclipse. One of the most widespread misconceptions about a solar eclipse is that the sun produces harmful radiation which can be dangerous, particularly for children or pregnant women. It is also thought that it can poison your food, though there's no scientific evidence that supports any of these ideas. The fact is, the sun behaves as it always does, eclipse or no eclipse. There isn't anything new the sun is doing during the solar eclipse. However, it can be harmful during the partial phase. If you look at the sun during the partial phase, it's game over, because the ultraviolet light from the sun can cause serious damage to your eyes. This is why they make special eclipse glasses which must be worn at all times during the partial phases.
And finally, onto the weather. The month of April is known to be cloudy and rainy, which is why people are wondering if they'll still be able to see and experience the eclipse if the weather is gloomy that day. People won't be able to see the phases of the eclipse at all if there are clouds completely covering the sun. Even with clouds, you will be able to experience the total solar eclipse, but seeing all of the phases won't be in the cards. Instead of being able to see the velvet hole in the sky When the moon completely covers the sun, it'll be a big whoosh, down to dark, complete dark, midnight dark. The shadow of the moon combined with those clouds will make it very dark for a brief period of time. The temperatures could even drop. It'll go down between 5, 10, 15 degrees depending on how sunny or cloudy it is. If you're able to hop in your car and move in order to beat the clouds, you should definitely consider it, since this is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. However, if this isn't in the cards, the solar eclipse experience will still be profound even in clouds. Not quite the spectacle, but definitely a profound, eerie, mysterious, beautiful bonding experience, and I can't wait to share it with you all.